You can see this boat doesn't have any rudder. So the question is, how can I control the vehicle without any rudder? I mean, I can move it forward, but how do I control the yaw? How do I turn it to different directions? For that reason, I am using variable thrust. Variable thrust means when I have to turn it to a certain direction, the propeller on the opposite direction moves faster than the one on that direction. For example, if I want to move this vehicle to the left, the propeller on the right, meaning the motor on the right, actually moves faster than the one on the left. For that reason, the boat moves on the left. So how do I control the variable thrust? For the transmitter and receiver we usually use, how we get transmitter and receiver, there is actually the signal from the receiver is in PWM form, so we cannot directly control these motors and control each of them to turn it in different direction using only the PWM signals. For that reason we need a microcontroller. The one I'm using in this is Arduino Nano. So what happens is I use a receiver. What I'm using it now, actually, it's is from the Microzone. I have the receiver and the transmitter set. Currently it's not in here, the receiver is not in here, I'm using it somewhere else. So the receiver gives PWM signals. The PWM signals are connected to two pins of this Arduino Nano. This Arduino Nano analyzes those PWM signals and gives voltage output according to those, which is actually a very precise code. Uh, I will give the link to my code in the description box, which is my GitHub link. So it's not very difficult, it's very easy code and very intuitive. And this voltage signal, as you know, the motor driver I'm using is L298N, and motor drivers usually use voltage logic to control the motors. So this Arduino Nano feeds voltage signals to this two input, this one and this one, for two motors. And I actually the pins are actually not here. These two are for the motors. These two are connected to the motor, and the pins are actually, if you can see, the pins are actually here. These are the pins. So in total there are probably, I can't recall, there's input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4, enable A, enable B. In total there are 6 pins, possibly, if we count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, there are 6 pins. So input 1 and input 1, input 2, these are for motor number 1. Input 3 and input 4 are motor number 2. I basically give these inputs high and low and control the direction of the motor. And the enable A and enable B controls the speed of these motors. So these are actually the basics of motor drivers. I'm not going to delve further into that. This is not the part of discussion of this video. So the thing is, I am using lithium batteries, two lithium batteries, in fact, 3.7 volts. That's roughly 7.4 volts. Yeah. So that's the electrical connections. It's not that much complicated. Now to the design of this um, design of this boat, which is not like your typical RC boat. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's kind of weird, and also it's kind of different. Weird in a way that it actually doesn't move in the water surface in a flood direction. You can see the later part of my boat is actually heavy. So when I place my boat into the water, it actually doesn't sit flat. It actually lies down. The later portion of the vehicle actually submerged into the water, and that's for very specific reason. You can see actually made this boat with a certain idea in mind. That's why I wanted to keep my boat in a flat surface, not like if there was a rudder or something, or the motors were underground. I have to put this boat somewhere on something high so that those doesn't break or something like that. So I made it completely flat. For this reason, this propellers doesn't reach water. To make them reach water, I had to put all the weight in the later portion of the vehicle so that this lies down and the propellers touch the water. And the most of these motors actually go underwater. That's why I needed to watertight it so it doesn't water doesn't enter from here. So the whole later portion, like until this point, it goes underwater and it moves like this. It's not a very efficient vehicle. I just wanted to make a uh, not typical boat. I wanted to make something different, make something different. So I made this. I'm not very proud of it, but what can I say? I tried. That's all I have to say. Thank you.